Well guys, I've hooked into a decent fish and I've got no landing net. I've left it in the car. That's nice. Took the bibio. It came up to the surface, I missed it. I recast and it took it again. Oh, beauty. Let's get back. I was just about to change my fly there. Thought the bibio wasn't working. I was just bringing the rod up to hang the fly, saw a swirl, a recast, short cast, and it nailed it. I think that's the biggest fish from this venue. Nice fish, probably about 15, 16 inches. Now guys, you join me today back on the reservoir that I was on in the last video, and I did really well in that session. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see that. I was fishing on the float tube on that occasion as well. I really enjoyed it, and I'm back again, which is just over a week later. My strategy today, because I learnt so much on that first session when I fished here the last time, is most of the fish, or most of the bigger fish I should say, they were close into the bank. And that's going to be my strategy for this session, is just hog the banks a little bit more. When I finished the last video, I kept fishing, and I was fishing really close to the bank, but I did have a nice little sort of onshore breeze. And I think because of that, it was like whipping up the silt close into the shore, and I was literally casting into a few inches of water and bringing it back towards me, and I missed several nice fish. One of them would have been the biggest of the day. So that's my strategy for the day, is fish closer to the banks. And I started the session a little bit later. When I first started, which was about an hour and a half ago, the wind was nothing. It dropped away to nothing, but I did manage to pick off a couple of trout. The first trout, it was a nice fish, probably about 3/4 of a pound, going on to the pound mark, maybe 13 inches, and that took the silver butcher. So fish rose ahead of me. I'm only fishing a team of 2 at the moment. I've got the bibio and the top dropper. Quite a big fly, size 10. And I've got the silver butcher on the point. That's just a size 12. Right guys, the wind is just completely switched round, which is going to be perfect. It's going to allow me to attack this bank here, fish quite close in. I've already missed a fish on my first cast into the bank. And I was just checking my hooks, just making sure they're nice and sharp. Now, I've not fished onto this bank before, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. There's a fish. Oh, that's a nice fish. Oh, he's not happy. Like I said, guys, well, that was typical, guys. I hooked into that fish and the battery went. I've still got it on, changed the battery. I don't know how I did that. I'm just letting it tire out a bit because I've got no landing net. And I'm sort of paddling away from the bank just to not disturb it. Oh, that's a nice fish. And typical, when the battery went, this fish took off like a missile. Took the silver butcher. I just changed the silver butcher to this size 10. A little bit of bigger profile. More like a bait fish. There we go. Get a quick look at this guy. Beautiful. That's touching the £2 mark. Give it a quick measure. .42 centimetres. Beautiful red spots. Let this guy go. Thank you, buddy. Excellent. Not bad. Second cast into the bank. I reckon there's going to be a lot more where that came from. So 42 centimetres, that's the target to beat. I really hope the wind direction stays the same, because this could turn into an awesome late afternoon session. Just letting the wind take me in closer, as I did paddle out quite a bit just to get away from the bank while I was playing that fish. So the setup I'm using today is just my 10-foot 5 weight floating line. I've got a 7-foot intermediate tapered leader And 4 foot from the end of my tapered leader, I've got the Bibio on, and 6 foot from that, I've got the Silver Butcher. So both flies are size 10. Bibio's a size 10 and the Silver Butcher's a size 10. So both big profile flies. Just because this sort of light's quite dull. Perfect distance from the shore. Probably casting into about maybe a 2 foot of water there. Could maybe actually get a bit closer. But it's quite rocky there. I don't want to get snagged up. We're in again, guys. Took the Bibio that time. I just moved position. The wind's sort of changed round a bit. It's blowing more down the bank rather than into the bank. You really wanted that, Bibio. Got me in a little bit of a tangle, but not too bad. Come on, you're making it worse. Beautiful. Definitely a wild one. Well guys, I finally hooked into one. It took a while. It's just a little guy. Lovely wild one. There's a fish on, just a little guy again. And a Bibio again. Oh, that was a big fish. Totally missed the fly. Let's see if that one comes back. Well, that trout missed the fly and never felt it at all. It must still be in this area. Scared to turn the camera off in case I hook this one. Oh, that was it again. Just missed it again. That's a big fish. That's it. I don't know if that's a fish, but it's a nice. Oh, it's a nice fish. I don't know if that's a one, but it's quite big. It was the third time lucky. I don't think that was it. I got that fish in, guys, and I've hooked into this other one. That other fish was on a bibio. The fish was only about maybe £1.25 pounds. Nice fish, lovely wild brownie. And I've got this one which is on the silver butcher. Not as big, but yeah, a little chunk. Ah, beautiful fish. Stunning colours. Lovely red spots. Thank you very much, buddy. Mr. Brown. Yeah, this area is proven to be worth the effort in terms of fighting against this little wind. Well, the stamp of fish has certainly been better today. Not as many small ones. I just think the tactics have paid off. I was lucky with the wind to get the wind on a few occasions blown into the bank, and I said at the start that, you know, that was going to be my sort of target for the day. Knowing what I found out, obviously, on the very first session I had last week, that I thought to myself, that has got to be the target area. If you can get the wind blown onto the bank or onto the shore. Certainly paid off. Some stunning fish today, and the majority of them have been wild brownies. Well guys, I think I'll call it a day. I've had an awesome day today. Like I said, it's not been as productive in terms of the same amount of small fish, but it's certainly been far better in terms of a better quality fish. You know, I said at the start, you know, I was going to target those banks where the wind's blown onto the bank, and it certainly paid off in terms of better fish. So guys, I think I might call it a day here. The light's fading, but I've had an absolutely awesome day today. Not had the same numbers of fish as the first session here, but the fish were certainly not as small as the first session. I think I had my tactics right. You know, I said at the beginning that I was going to target those banks with the wind blowing onto the banks, and I think that certainly paid off. You know, I had a good few nice fish. Biggest fish was probably about £1.5, £1.75. I think it was 42 centimetres. So that's the biggest fish out of here to date, and that's my new target to beat. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Tight lines, and I'll see you next time on Piscator UK.